Billy Coleman was the Irish rallying legend of the 70s, so what could motivate him to return to the wheel?
Well, about 1 million people asking me why did I give it up and why don't I get back in, so I said, the hell, it's easier to go back.
Coleman's second outing for dealer Opel Team Ireland. In Galway, he had his first taste of the works Opel Manta 400, but apart from a very brief appearance in last year's circuit in the ex-Ari Vatanen Escort and an excellent win on the Killarney Rally of the Lakes, Billy has been a stranger to Irish stages for a number of years. Is it now too much to expect that the Corkman can still match the pace of those that have filled the record books in his absence? The very best are in Belfast for the 1984 Rothmans Circuit of Ireland International Rally, and there is... Jimmy is first away, but another star is Toivonen. The Porsche has got to be a very good car for this type of event.
Well, actually, we don't have any experience with this car with secret stages, so it will be very interesting to see how good it will be.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Henry Toivonen and Ian Grindrod in that gorgeous lightweight Porsche 911 from the Rothmans circuit last year. Now with a lot more power, obviously potentially this is probably the quickest car.
Well, we have a lot of weight, but anyway it's one of the quickest, and a lot of tarmac. We miss a little bit the gravel for our four-wheel drive system.
Well, of course it's a bit wet at the moment. That suits the four-wheel drive.
Well, don't forget to brake.
So there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Harold DeMuth and Phil Short in the passenger seat. Next up in a similar Manta is Billy Coleman. Well, what do you think of your chances of writing yourself into the history books as another man that could win the Circuit of Ireland 3 times?
Well, I would like to think they're not bad. As I say, I have a lot of experience on the event, and it's so long this year. I think that should count for a lot. So after that, it's in the lap of the gods, really.
Well, I've never seen Billy so relaxed, so organised. And it really looks like a man that could do very, very well on this event. Austin Mchale, his teammate, is expected to be very fast. Mchale, the current tarmac champion, has the experienced Christy Farrell in the passenger seat, who is suffering from a severe dose of the flu. McRae proves that pace notes take nothing from the spectacle. And Toivonen reinforces that belief. Chris Lord's high seeding in the Group A golf is already causing problems with the following Bertie Fisher, who is quick from the start. The former Ulster Rally winner excels on pace notes. But Colin Malkin in the powerful Rover is not to last too long. Winston Henry is even more spectacular than usual due to a rear puncture in his RS 1800. And pedaling much quicker than expected in his Blydenstein Nissan 240 RS is the former Hot Rod World Champion Davy Evans. Davy is in the top 10 from the start of the rally, and even at this stage he's one of the talking points. But the big news, however, is that last year's winners, Russell Brooks and Mike Broad, have only lasted 1 mile into the first stage. A broken prop shaft is the reason, and the Andrews Heat for Hire Manta makes its way forlornly back to Belfast. For Brooks and Broad, it's curtains. Kenkinen has also made an indiscretion on the first stage after hitting a boulder. And late entry Warren Craig is now well into his elbow-bending style. a style echoed by Barry Duggan. But Toivonen has been in the wars, hitting a bank on stage 3, and Henry is in a hurry. Mchale too has lost time with a puncture, but Ernest Kidney is more than pleased to be lying 5th. With only 7 of the 55 stages completed, the top 10 has taken a real beating. The leader McRae is the latest casualty. His Manta has been off the road and suffered severe body damage. The AC Delco entry still leads. But Fisher is now only 1 minute behind. DeMuth is 3rd. Coleman 4th. And Toivonen from 15th to 6th in 4 stages. A telltale wisp of steam signifies that McRae's head gasket has blown. Jimmy will lose the lead to Fisher in service before Belfast. And an Ulster crew leads the Rothmans circuit after the first day in Ulster. Good Friday has been a very good day for Billy Coleman. To be in 3rd place with less than a 5th of the rally completed was much more than he and Ronan Morgan had anticipated. The Manta hadn't skipped a beat, and Coleman will rest well before the 4 o'clock start in the morning. Kenkinen is back in the lead in Group A. For the totally private entry like Winston Henry, a high placing in the Rothmans circuit is virtually unobtainable. Yet Winston, who prepares his own RS 1800, is just outside the top 10. The rally now moves into the Wicklow Mountains. DeMuth leads on the road. But Toivonen, with driving like this, is right on Fisher's tail. And there is little that the Gold Card team can do about it. Coleman has dropped a little time with punctures and Sally Gap. And Kidney keeps to his pace. 6th overall is well within his plan. Davy Evans is just 2 minutes behind. Welshman Russell Gooding, the hero of the recent Portugal rally, is 9th. A crossroads on stage 20, the second last stage before a much-needed rest in Waterford. Rumours sweep the village that the Porsche has taken the lead from Bertie Fisher. At this remote point, there are no rally bulletins, just the knowledgeable hearsay of the travelling enthusiasts who piece together their snippets of information. Suddenly, the rumour is reality. Fisher has stopped up the road with only a faint hope of meeting his service crew. Back at the nearest access point.
Well, Bertie, your best ever chances of winning the circuit, and now you're out. How do you feel? Well, it's a bit of a blow. I think we have either a differential or a half shaft failure. It's one of those things.
Waterford awaits the Rothmans circuit with a certain degree of apprehension. To move the rally from its traditional base in Killarney was a brave step by the organisers and the townspeople alike. Something which has to be watched. Everything has been planned right down to the last second. Powerboats in the river, aerobics in the sky, but somebody somewhere had forgotten to measure the turning circle of an Audi Quattro. And so in Waterford on Saturday, the Rothmans Porsche leads the Rothmans Rally in such a dominating fashion that Coleman, the top Irish driver, is now 5 minutes behind the leader. County Waterford hasn't seen rallying before. The Sunday run is completely new territory to all. The sunny southeast is living up to its name, and the locals have turned out in their thousands to witness this new spectacle. Fast, smooth, open stages have been promised by the organisers, just the sort of terrain that a Porsche revels in. Austin Mchale indulges in a bit of aerobics. But a quick-thinking spectator is on hand to give kidney directions. Full marks to these two who get stuck into building something more robust. Russell Gooding and Roger Jenkins are ninth, 2 places behind that other top Welsh crew, John Price and Derek Davis, in the Renault 5 Turbo. As Toivonen is of Coleman, 6 minutes to be precise. Billy has a new problem, however. Mchale has closed to within a minute. Ernest Kidney is 4th as he tosses his Robin Lyon's own Sunbeam Lotus through the streets of Stradbally. The Welsh entrants, John Price and Russell Gooding, are having a good old battle. The Renault moves ahead of the Vauxhall again. Another Vauxhall really flying up through the field is Julian Rodrigues. He has now just made it into the top 10. It's enough to give a lad a thirst. Davy Evans, it seems, is not infallible. He has damaged the Nissan steering on stage 26, but is still a remarkable 5th overall. In the searing Easter sun over the south coast of Ireland, bodies are being bared at an alarming rate. Some go topless, but in Kilmurran Cove, there is a nudist colony. Not approved of by the executive officers of the Kilmurran Decency League. With the Flying Finn, Juha Kenkinen retired, the Group A lead is still being retained for Toyota by Alan Johnston. The battle for this class is intense. Kenny McKinstry chases Johnston, and Dave Mann is third. Tim Bryce, potentially one of the quickest, is dogged with mechanical problems and accidents. The Sunday run has been a big success. Huge crowds, described by many of the more travelled competitors as even greater than Portugal. Sun-baked stages, high-speed competition, excellent marshalling and crowd behaviour has left everybody with a warm feeling about Waterford and its holiday atmosphere. Indeed, the beautiful coastal resort of Tramore could almost pass as the French Riviera. However, at amusements of a different kind in Waterford City, rally leader Henry Toivonen has received a severely strained ankle in a celebrity kart race. The Porsche domination is threatened. Monday afternoon and the start of the long 27-hour trek home. Toivonen in pain on stage 34. Coleman now realizes that Henry's karting follies have given him a great chance of his third circuit win. McHale is equally hungry for his first win, and a 43-second deficit at this point is negligible. Although fourth, Kidney is 9 minutes adrift of McHale. And the Evans grin grows larger by the mile. The early arrivals eagerly await the Porsche, but Henry is having trouble with more than his ankle. The gearbox is jamming and there is no replacement in the service barge. Toivonen is continuing, but now Coleman is the new rally leader. At least for the moment out of the way, both the dealer Opel Team Ireland Mantas lead the circuit. McHale now knows that it is probable that he will battle with Billy to the end for the greatest prize in Irish rallying. With 20 stages and 24 hours motoring still to go, nobody is counting their STP Tarmac Championship points yet. car preservation is high on the minds of the Opel drivers after Fisher's earlier back axle misfortunes. But both Coleman and Mchale want to win, and there are no team orders. Winston Henry in trouble. It sounds as if the car parts escort needs a few. Russell Gooding now with even less of his front wing. There is still no sign of Toivonen. But now he appears at last. The last stage before supper in Galway, and Billy is having to go a lot quicker than he wants. Mchale continues to take time out of the leading Opel, and relationships between the two teams are decidedly fraught. Ernest Kidney and Seamus McCanney, in marked contrast, are getting on like a house on fire. And Russell Gooding is managing to maintain that 3-minute advantage over rival Roderick in 7th place. Toivonen's troubles continue. But amazingly, he is still 3rd. But Billy is looking for an alliance.
Well, my main worry at this point is that you know, when you get two cars with a chance to win, that they're under so much pressure, and we've done something like 1,200 miles now, and they must be near breaking point, and they're still under pressure. I just fear that they mightn't finish.
Do you wish that there were team orders and the two of you would have to be told to go early, go a bit easier?
I've been saying that for about a day now, but, you know, because we could blow the whole thing and General Motors mightn't win it all.
And so into the night, for what is undoubtedly going to be one of the toughest sections of all. From Galway, they head for the Mayo stages, barren, yumpy territory designed to tire man and machine. At 2 a.m. they pass through Sligo and then into Donegal, such famous stages as Loch Esk, Dunlow Lake and Dukery. And that's where we catch up with them at dawn to find a new leader.
How's it feel to be leading the Circuit of Ireland?
Hard work.
Are you going to maintain that, do you reckon?
Well, we'll try anyway.
Can you and the car possibly stand up to this sort of pressure?
Well, the car's giving no problem. The car's going very well.
The reality of McHale's achievement during the night is just beginning to filter through. Austin and Christie, suffering from the flu throughout the rally, now have a 1 minute 11-second advantage over their teammates. Is Billy Coleman really beaten? Has he overplayed the car preservation strategy? Billy knows that County Donegal has been the graveyard of many a rally car in the past. But as they reach breakfast in the Mount Errigal Hotel, it really looks as if the Corkman has played it wrong. The night has taken its toll. Toivonen finally went when they failed to replace the gearbox in time. Russell Gooding moved up to 6th by Sligo, but then retired with a blown head gasket. But how about the leader?
Obviously a very tired and fairly drained man at the moment.
Well, very tired, I don't know about drained. I've had us the flu since the starting yesterday morning. And not feeling too well now, okay, but I had a fairly good run all day yesterday, last night, with no problems with the car. The car went very well. The lads did a very good job in keeping it going, and you know, we're very happy to be here at the moment anyway.
Well, the experience of Billy Coleman was supposed to have an advantage. All the forecasts were that Coleman would go quicker in the dark, but it's been quite the reverse.
Yeah, we went fairly quick, but Billy was going very quick as well. You know, it was very tight all night, and I think it was just a gamble who was just going to keep going for the longest, and I suppose eventually we did put out a bit of a lead in him.
You were absolutely flying from the second day onwards in this rally. Everything was just going absolutely perfect. Getting into Galway last night, it was really looking good.
Yes, and I maintained all the time that we were probably driving too quickly, bearing in mind the amount of mileage that was ahead of us. But, well, mind you, there's still 50 miles to go and anything could happen yet. But at this point, it looks as if I might have played the wrong tactics, so who's to say?
Minutes later, on the first stage out of Letterkenny, Austin goes through. But a born-again Coleman pulls the master stroke of the rally. On this 12-mile stage, Coleman takes 23 seconds out of McHale's lead. It's a move that nobody expected. Almost unbelievably, we learn that McHale's engine has gone. Once again, the Dublin driver is reminded of the heartbreak of rallying in the bitterest possible way.
An hour is a long time in motorsport, and that's really come true today. I spoke to you in Letterkenny, and I wasn't in the best of form, mind you, but I figured, you know, there was 50 miles to go, about 90 seconds in it or whatever, and I decided I'd give it one more go. So on the next test, we took about a half a minute back, which, you know, did us a lot of good, and the gap was down probably a minute or less then. So.
In Letterkenny, you said to us perhaps you'd employed the wrong tactics. In fact, I think it's proved that you actually had the right tactics all along.
Well, I suppose you can only say these things in hindsight, but, you know, with the length of the rally this year and the pace it was run at, you know, really from the first day, I figured that we'd all of us be lucky to make it, you know, and maybe I think it's come true a little bit.
And what happened to Austin?
I gather his engine failed, which is too bad, you know. But at
So
least one
close.
Opel has got there anyway.
And so close to being a 1-2 Opel finish.
That's right, would have been fabulous.
Well, Billy, we'll not keep you from your champagne. Many congratulations. We'll see you in the City Hall.
Thanks very much.
John Price and Derek Davis. Davy Evans and Roy Kernahan. Ernest Kidney and Seamus McCanney. Billy Coleman and Ronan Morgan, the winners of the 1984 Rothmans Circuit of Ireland International Rally in the Shell Dealer Opel Team Ireland Manta 400. The the Rothman circuit has once again proven that experience is paramount. Austin Mchale and Christy Farrell will undoubtedly get their day again, but this day belongs to Billy Coleman and Ronan Morgan. Billy joins the ranks of Paddy Hopkirk, Roger Clark, Russell Brooks and Jimmy McRae as 3 times winners, and Ronan gets his first international.